Listen, Dave, I wanted to tell you, though, while you're enjoying fun in the sun, I know you're not going to write this off your taxes just because it's a lawyers' convention, right?
Well, I mean, I am going to these continuing legal classes I'm required to do, and
okay, so it's business. It's
take
business.
advantage of every opportunity the United States government gives me.
Okay, there you go. But I'm here with Janet Ahern and one of her volunteers from NOLA Courtwatch. Have you ever seen these guys with the yellow clipboards? Of course I have. As a matter of
fact, they are really becoming a bulwark right inside of the cases to be watching and monitoring everything, and they keep track of some of the cases, which I think is fascinating at Tulane and Broad, and they get a chance to see the ups and downs and the different characters on the bench, and I commend now is it Graham LaPlanche that was also coordinating this. She was a famous trial lawyer and defense lawyer, and just wonderful woman. And she was, after Katrina, she was very involved in this. Is she still working with this group?
Apparently she's gone, and now we got Janet. Graham was with it for a while. I think she invented something or something.
Yeah, I think it was a different type of bra. She's trying to market a bra.
No, it was what it was.
It's going to work.
No, what Jeff Smith told me, who's been a guest here on the show, he said, Graham invented a thing for women's bras where you can change the strap to different colors to match different outfits. If you want to become an internet multimillionaire, okay, that one is owned by Graham, okay? But there's plenty of other incredibly small, trivial details of everyday life that if you can find a way to improve it and get it on the internet, you are like, they just suck you right up and you're gone. You got your island.
So what's happening with the?
They're saying, Dave. They're saying a lot of good things about us. They're saying, the lawyers seem pretty well prepared. I mean, the witnesses seem to still have the low score. The cops are doing good. The DA's doing good. They got all kind of nice things about the judges. But what they're telling us, Dave, is that if you go to Tulane and Broad, there's about a 50% chance that your case is going to get continued, and they think that's maybe not efficient. Do you think Tulane and Broad is inefficient when it comes to continuances?
Well, I want them to comment on what do they say? What would Courtwatch say about the fact that the district attorney has full control of which cases go to trial, and if you are ready for trial, they can actually, if the defense bar is ready for trial, they can use that against you by saying, we've decided to go with somebody else because you're too ready. You're too prepared, aren't you, Mr. Capasso? You seem to have your ducks in a row. We're going to go with this obscure case that is a throwdown case from a poor guy in jail, and maybe we'll have to reset you. But the judges are wise to this now because they basically will say, well, we're not going to continue it too far ahead. Maybe we'll continue it to the end of the week. But a lot of times if the defense somehow is not ready because we haven't gotten all the discovery or because our client has changed attorneys because now they want their God-given right in the Fifth Amendment to have the attorney of their choice. But I don't even know if it's in the Constitution, have your attorney of your choice, but they want an attorney, and they finally have somebody, but we've not given enough notice. But I think that the stereotype, thanks to Courtwatch, the stereotype of the continuances are clogging up the courts, and the defense is false. It's false. The defense bar is not the only reason why these continuances are happening. I think sometimes it's just a question of the judge, and I think some judges are very sensitive about their docket, and some judges realize that when a client is incompetent, take, for example, somebody, as you know, declared incompetent, that they may have to wait 6 months to 8 months for their case to continue. And if somebody gets in this diversion program, which is a great program now, where you can be in 2 years of monitored court supervision, but the case technically has to stay on the docket. But I actually was in Judge Camille Burris' section, where she sentenced somebody on diversion. I mean, the diversion program accepted them, and she took her case and she made it, the word is that she used a Latin word of, it's either diverta or something where the case is not officially on her docket. It's in limbo, so the judges don't have to worry about these diversion cases just staying on their docket. It's not their fault. It's just that the case has to just stay somewhere. But there's all different reasons that we can move forward. But this new system has not come into place where the cases will be assigned to the judge right away.
Yeah, the vertical prosecution deal.
Yeah. So that'll be very interesting to monitor that as well. But I think sometimes they can't get enough jurors. Sometimes the judge just doesn't want to go to. I remember one judge 2 weeks ago. I said, "Judge, I'm ready for trial," and the judge made me approach the bench, and he said, "Not today. I'm not going to trial today." And so the DA is like, "No problem," and then the judge said, "I'll take this one. I'll take this one because I just don't feel like going to trial today." And that is the judge's prerogative based on how he feels, whether he's got something more pressing to do, or but unfortunately, as I said in the CLE that I went to about case management, is that we have to respect the process, and I think Courtwatch helps us. Is that these are families, these are people on the line, so we just don't want to be dilly-dally and take for granted the time that justice delayed is justice denied. We want to do this quickly, we want to do it efficiently, but there are times that it could really affect and help the client and the process.
Yeah, but
by
Dave,
giving a little
there's
time.
something I want to point out here, though, and I think you're going to agree with me on this, that depending on which side of the coin you are on, okay, justice being denied by justice being delayed, that's a win. Okay? In other words, whether you're the prosecutor and you really don't think you've got what it takes and you don't want to mess up your record of wins, or you're a defense attorney and you know your client that day that they got to go to trial, they probably ain't going to be going home. So in every case, unless both attorneys seem to feel like they agree on the outcome, but somebody is always going to benefit in terms of the litigants from the case being continued. Somebody's not going to have consequences if the case is continued.
Right.
And consequences is what a lot of my clients are paying me to avoid or to minimize.
Absolutely. And we don't want to give the impression to the public that when cases are delayed, sometimes it clogs up the system and the bad guy hangs out there doing bad things. That's just totally wrong. But I will ask this question: who pays for Courtwatches? Is the Judicial Administrative Office paying for that, or is it independent sources? Is it?
David, I want to address a couple of things and then I'll answer your question. I don't think it's fair to say at Courtwatch that we're blaming, and I'll put that in quotes, the defense.
There we go.
The bottom line is Courtwatch's goal is to report, and so we are a non-biased, and we don't take sides. We're not outcome driven. All we want to do is tell the public who's doing what, and under certain circumstances, the state is asking for a continuance. And under certain circumstances, the defense is asking for continuance. And as you said, sometimes it's on the court. And the court continuances may be because another case is going to trial or there's some conflict that can't be avoided. But I don't want you to think that we're headhunting to say it's one side or the other. All we do is we watch what goes on, we compare it to what the docket master says, and we're trying to keep the public informed.
Dave, I've read the report. I was kind of surprised. I don't really feel like they're out to get anybody. I think they're just trying to present the facts and let the public deal with it.
If they're funded independently and they want to get some teeth that can really change some things, I think some questions should be asked, like, can Courtwatch ask the district attorney or the judge or even us, have legitimate offers been made to plea a case out that are respectable and honorable? Let's take, for example, a marijuana third offense, or a person that is a drug addict their whole life, may have 3 convictions, but they're now charged with 1 cocaine rock. And has the offers been made that are sensible? And I think that Russell and I will point out numerous cases where the district attorney has been nonsensical and almost absurd with the offers. We'll offer him 25 years.
Oh, Dave,
if he wants the case done,
what
so we
an
can
absurd
resolve
thought
it today,
that
no
absurd things would happen in
we can
court.
get it off the docket. But if they would have offered us a reasonable offer of 7 years in jail for marijuana or 1 rock because of their bad record, we would be able to get thousands. I mean thousands. When I say that word, I am not kidding you. And if Courtwatch wants to, like that question of feed the poor, that's a nice thing, but question why they're poor, people say, no, we don't. I want Courtwatch to maybe get in a situation where they can delve into why are these holdups, why are these cases still on the books of these poor, a lot of times low-income drug addicts or multi-conviction people that are charged with a minor offense, I would say minor being a marijuana or a small amount of drugs. Why are they put on this walk the plank that if you don't take 15, 20, 25, you're going to go to trial and you're going to get life. And that, once you unclog that thing, you're going to see a Niagara Falls come down where these cases will be like we could close hundreds and hundreds in 5 minutes.
Yeah, look,
we're ready for that.